I want to kind of switch gears here a little bit and talk about global consciousness. What is global consciousness?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I guess I would say just an awareness of the world we live in, our positionality in it, beyond just the borders of our passports, designated area, or our religious upbringing or cultural upbringing, I guess. Something broader than just me, more than just who am I, but who am I in this world? What is this world that I am a part of?
Do you have an answer for that? What is this world that we are a part of?
A mess, truly a mess, I would say.
Yeah, I feel, and maybe you can talk about this a little bit. Really feel like we're fighting a spiritual war, like good versus evil. And, I'm very naive. I want to believe that everyone is good but there's a lot of bad people in this world. And I hope that the good will win. But do you feel like we're fighting the spiritual war of good versus evil?
Um, I I definitely think that there is a spiritual war
Okay.
uh at play. I don't know that it's between good versus evil, only because you're right to think that everyone is good, but everyone is also evil. And what we mean by those things and what those words represent, and when we get to say we embody one or the other, shifts so frequently that I think they're impossible to ever capture because the, let's say, Zionist, Israeli today who goes to war, goes to Gaza to fight, believes, most of them believe truly that what they're doing is good. What they're doing is protecting their land, protecting their people, protecting their right to exist, protecting their culture. They don't know that in our eyes we are seeing evil. They don't know. They they just don't know. They've never been told based on what they've been taught and everything they've been raised on, from the books to the movies to the schooling to their parents, their friends. Everything has told them that this is the enemy. This is evil. In fact, these children are evil because they will grow up with a bloodlust for you, for your life. So it couldn't be evil to starve them or kill them. It must be a necessary evil for the greater good. It must be. Um, and that could be said by anyone, anywhere who moves with conviction. The Christians, the early Christians, European Christians who would massacre Jews for killing Jesus, for rejecting Jesus. To them, they were defending Jesus. And that is good because Jesus is good and Jesus deserves to be defended. And if it weren't for them, everyone would be Christian and the world would be beautiful. But because they don't want to accept Jesus, everything is bad. So the answer is eradicate the people who won't accept Jesus. That's good, right? So good and evil are just these very fickle categories that I think a lot of the narratives that we have been exposed to have been feeding us this precarious good versus evil, bad guy versus good guy, hero versus villain, so that we don't realize just how complex these situations and all conflict is, and how it really rests on how much we're willing to consider the other as worthy of life and dignity and respect as we are. So, like, for example, in older mythologies, like we are raised, especially in this Abrahamic world, we are raised within the dichotomy, within this duality of good and evil, God and the devil. But before that, you had gods and you had humans. And the gods were all powerful, almighty, all seeing, all knowing, but they also had flaws. Specifically, they had all of the flaws that humans had, just on a super level. So they were also all jealous, all angry, all grapey. And humans were flawed in their own ways. Humans had hubris. Humans dared to defy the gods or dared to challenge them. And the gods could, if they wanted, if they found, like when Athena, there is this, Ariadne is like known to be this very skilled weaver. And Athena is the goddess of weavers, so she has to be the greatest weaver of all time. And when she hears of Ariadne, she's like, oh, I'm going to challenge this bitch because she can't. She's like outdoing me. Like the women are starting to say like, wow, this is work that would like outdo Athena. No, ma'am. So she challenges her to like a weaving duel, and they weave, and everyone looks at Ariadne's thing and they're like, oh my God, like I think Ariadne's is better. And Athena is so angry and so jealous that she punishes Ariadne for her hubris, for even daring to come and duel her in the weaving instead of just like ceding and saying, no, I would never duel you. You're a goddess. Right? So that's what the gods were like before. The gods would devour their own children if a prophecy told them that they were going to overthrow them, because they didn't want to lose their power. The gods, there was this like dialogue, if you will, between the gods or the godly divine realms and the human mortal realm. Whereas now it's all good and all evil. These are the realms. And your job is to be good because God is good and he wants you to be good. And that's it. It's as simple as that. It's not a question of hubris. It's not a question of skill. It's not a question of what decisions you will make and how much you will honor the humanness of someone in front of you, the worthiness of someone in front of you. It's just good and bad. We are good, the Zionists are bad. For them, they are good and Arabs are bad. Luke Skywalker is good and
Dark Vader.
Dark Vader is bad, right? Although like there is a lot to say about Star Wars and the fact that Darth Vader turns out to be his father to kind of like embody, reintegrate good and evil into one another. Like ultimately this good guy is actually the son of evil. But anyways, whole other alchemical discussion. But yeah, I think the spiritual war is not a good versus evil. That is our personal internal war. Our desire to be good is what our mishpas even desire, our dedication to being good, are the fact that we've been brainwashed into thinking that goodness is the ultimate thing that we could be. Good. That's what we should be. Good girls and good boys, and do the right thing and follow the rules and blah 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 blah. That creates more division than it does union, because everybody's version of good is different. Every moment, your own version of good is going to change. It's not good for you to hit people, but if you are a mother and somebody comes near your child, you're not going to think twice about beating someone up. Like, you're just, and does that make you evil? Like, are you now evil because according to your values, violence is bad? So what you just did is not good. But right, so it just doesn't hold up. It's not it's a very, very faulty, fragile, precarious framework that has us locked in really deep, and it just polarizes us, because what I think is good is different from what you think is good, and we're both arguing from a place where we believe we represent the good and the morally righteous, but no one really does. There's no actual encoded morality within the nature of life, within creation. She hasn't encoded that the predator is evil and the prey is good. She has encoded that one creature will be a prey and another creature will be a predator, and this is how they will sustain themselves. And each one will have to adapt according to its circumstances. That is how nature has set us up. So our war is with, I think, the spiritual war is with the, like we've been severed from our deeper spiritual essence, our deeper spiritual awareness that stretches beyond moral righteousness, that stretches deeper than moral righteousness into understanding, into compassion, into a recognition of our mutual necessity for one another and our interconnectedness. All of that is muffled beneath good versus evil, this polarity, this good, these two separated things. So the war is in keeping that part muffled, keeping Jerusalem split in half, let's say, while, we're all just convinced that, like, this is good and this is bad, and these people are evil and we are the good guys, and the good guys always win, and no, they don't.